Hello everyone, welcome to Graphic Designers Workshop. Let's create the famous Spike Dog from Tom and Jerry cartoon in Illustrator. So let us start. We'll first create the brush required to create this cartoon. So we'll first select an ellipse tool and we'll give it a pure black color, and then we will just select this point, and then we will use shift and right arrow to just drag this point, and then we will make this point sharp. So we'll just select that point, and here we have the option convert selected anchor points to corner, right? And we will also select the front point. We'll just move it a little bit, and then we will also make it sharp. We'll simply click on this convert selected anchor points to corner, right? Then we will select the center point. We can use the shift and drag the left and right points, and we'll do the same for this bottom point, right? So we need to get a stroke like this. So we will now squish this particular stroke, right? So this is the stroke we need to paint strokes on this cartoon, right? We can squish it even further. We can just zoom and we can squish it even further. That's it, right? So now this is our brush. So we will now save this brush inside our brushes panel. So just open the brushes panel, and in case the brushes panel is not already open, let's go to window menu, and then we'll select brushes, right? So simply we need to drag this brush or drag this stroke inside the brushes panel, and this new brush dialog pops up, and from this new brush dialog we need to select art brush, and we'll simply click OK. And then the art brush options dialog appears. Here we will give the name for the brush, cartoon creation brush, right? And then the only option we need to change here is, here we have the option tints and shades. We can select this option, right? And then all we have to do is simply we need to click OK. And the tints and shades option is necessary because we have to apply different colors. We may have to apply different colors. So I have selected the method as tints and shades, right? Now we will simply click OK. So this is the cartoon brush, and we'll check the brush once. So just we'll select the brush, and then here is the brush tool, paint brush tool. The keyboard shortcut is B, so we can see here. So this is our brush, right? So this is what we need. So once we got our brush, what we need to do is we will simply double click on this paintbrush, and here we need to check some of the options, and here we can see fidelity. So the fidelity right now is nearly smooth. It's not completely smooth, but nearly smooth. So it's always important to create a smooth brush, because we don't want jerks while creating the cartoon, right? So now we are all set. Our brush is ready. All we have to do is we need to just trace this cartoon. So to trace the cartoon, first thing what we'll do is, here in the layers panel, we have the reference. So we will do one thing, we will reduce the opacity of the reference. So something like this. Right, let's keep the opacity as 30%. And now let us lock the layer. And we can rename the layer as reference. Right. So once we have just reduced the opacity and locked the reference, now we will take a new layer and now we will start creating outlines for this cartoon. So we'll just rename the layer outlines. Right. So now let's start and select the brush and make sure that the cartoon brush is selected. So we need to check whether the brush that we have just now created is selected or not. So yeah, it is selected. Now let's start and let's see whether the stroke appears big or small. Right, okay, it's not too big, but let's do one thing. So let's create the stroke. Let's try to make it a little bit small. So let's keep it to 0 point. Let's say, okay, let's keep it to 0.5 points. Right. So now let's start painting. So we'll start with the ear. So just we have to be careful here. Sometimes our hand will shake a lot, so we need to be careful. Right. So I'm creating overlapping outlines. Okay, so this is necessary because we need to create sections here. If we create sections only, we will be able to apply colors. Right. So we just have to be patient here. So we can just repaint or recreate the stroke in case we think that the stroke is appearing a little bit jerky. So we need to ensure that there are no jerks. Right. So it's very easy to create if we have the reference. We can also create something with our imagination. Right. So we don't have to be too accurate. We can just keep creating. So here we'll start the ear, the left ear. So just we can observe here. So we are creating a lot of overlaps. So here we have to create this stroke till we get a perfect one. Right. Then now we will start with the mouth part. So then we have to create the inside of the mouth. So here we have to be a little bit careful, because we are creating the section for the teeth here. So we can just select this one and slightly reduce its width. Right. So we can just hide the reference and check. See here, we are getting the cartoon. Right. And now we will create the inside of the mouth, the tongue. Right. And we can slightly increase the size of the stroke inside the mouth. Right. So now we will start with eyes. So here we have to get a smooth curve. Till we get a smooth curve, we have to create the strokes. It's very important to get a smooth curve. Right. So it's almost done. We just need to create this collar. So here I'm just creating the collar. Right. And these spikes are there. We can also create them. We need to close them. So closing is very important here. So here we have one more spike. Make sure that it's closed. Right. So I think we have just created, and here we also have to create the nose. So let me create it again, because I think I did not get a closed stroke. So till we get a closed stroke, we have to create it. Right. So now I think we have completed the outlines for our spike dog. So now all we have to do is we need to just create different sections, and we just have to apply paint. But there is also one more thing here. So here there is one section. We have just missed this particular section. See here, near the chin there is a different color. So we have to just create one more section here. So just we will so we can just create the stroke here. Right. And here also we have to just observe all the sections. Right. So now it's done. So we have created all the outlines. So now the next step is we have to create different sections, and we also need to delete the unwanted parts of the outlines, part of the outlines which are extending beyond the border or beyond the boundary. So first we will remove these unwanted strokes or unwanted lines, and after that we will be applying colors to the spike dog. We will first hide the reference, and here we can observe, see, the lines are overlapping and also they are extending beyond the boundary. So first thing what we are supposed to do is we'll just draw a selection and select the entire cartoon. Right, then we'll go to object menu, and in the object menu we have the option expand appearance. So we'll simply click on it. Right, so then what we'll do is we'll simply go to object, and here we have the option live paint. We'll first click on this option make inside live paint, and then we'll go to object menu again, and again we'll select the live paint, and here we have the option expand. Right, so now what we are supposed to do is we'll just simply select the direct selection tool, and then we will first delete the unwanted lines that are extending beyond the boundary. We will activate the reference so that we can understand where the unwanted lines are. So here, see, we can find the unwanted lines, so we'll simply delete them. Right, so we have a unwanted line here. Right, make sure that you don't delete the important lines, so only the unwanted lines. Right, so okay, we can zoom and check. See here, near the eyes we have a lot of unwanted lines. Right, so the remaining lines we don't have to delete actually, so we can just check the reference in case we have any extra lines. Right, so here also we can delete one line. Right, so I think we have removed all the extra lines. Just there are some more here near the mouth. So we just have to observe. I think we have deleted an important line here, so we should not delete it. Right, so we have to just check the reference and ensure that important lines remain on, only the unwanted extra lines are deleted. Right, here also we have this one line here, so we will check the reference first. Yeah, right, so I think we are done here. So just some small things are there. Right, so I think now we are all set to paint colors. Just check. And one thing is there here, see, we can see some opening here. We need to ensure that everything is closed. If not, we won't be able to create sections. So here we can see, so we just need to zoom into this part, and then we will just select these points, and we will just use the arrow key and extend it so that every section is closed, no section is open, so that it will be easy for us to paint colors. So now we will unlock the reference, and we'll just keep the reference to the side, and we will also increase the opacity. Right. Then what we'll do is we'll take one more layer. We'll also activate the outlines layer. We'll take the new layer and we will take a duplicate of these outlines. So we can simply select all the outlines, and we can hold Alt in PC or Option in Mac and then just drag one outline, and we can keep it to the side, and then what we can do is we can just simply cut and we'll paste this in the new layer. Right. We can just give it a name, copy, and we can just hide this layer, because in any case if we have done some mistake, we can get back the outlines again. Right. So then now what we'll do is before painting colors, we will pick the colors from the cartoon. So to pick the colors, first we need to open the swatches panel. So we can go to window menu and open the swatches panel. Right. Just here is the swatches panel, and also we will just keep the color panel open, and we need to get the colors of this spike dog. So for that, what we need to do is, here is the eyedropper, and we will start with the head. So here is the head, and we will just drag this color, and we will save this color inside our swatches panel. We'll just double click on it, and we will just rename the color head color. Right. And we will again pick the chin color here. Just click here, and now the chin color is selected, and we will again save this chin color in our swatches panel. So just double click on it, and we will just rename it chin color. Right. And then we will pick the color of the collar. So we'll just select the eyedropper, just pick the color of the collar. We will save it to our swatches panel, and we will rename it collar color. And here we will also select the spikes color. So just pick the spikes color. We'll save it to our swatches panel, and we will rename it spikes color. Right. And we can also just pick one color on the nose. It's not exactly black, so we'll just select the eyedropper, just pick the color of the nose, and we will add this to our swatches panel, and we will rename it nose color. Right. And we also have the mouth and tongue, so we'll just pick the inside of the mouth. We'll save this. We'll just rename it mouth inside. And the last one is, we will pick the tongue color. We'll just rename it tongue color. Right, so now we got all the colors. Now we can start applying these colors over our cartoon. Right, so all we have to do is we'll just draw a selection from outside using the direct selection tool, and let's start applying colors. So the way we apply colors is, first we need to identify the sections. To identify the sections, we have to use this live paint bucket tool. So we can also access it by using the keyboard shortcut K. So first what we need to do is we will just draw a selection from outside, and we will go to object, live paint, and we will say make. Right, and now we will use the live paint bucket. So see, it's able to identify the sections. Right, so now we have to start with the head. So here is the head color, so we will just select the head color, and we will just select the head section here. Right, so there is a head section, there is a head color on the ears also. We'll just apply that color, and then we will now apply the chin color. So we'll just pick the chin color here, and then we will just apply the chin color. And here we have the inside of the ears. So for the inside of the ears, we will just select the tongue colors, because the tongue color and the color for the inside of the ears is the same. So we'll just pick the tongue color. So we'll just check whether this is the tongue color. So right, so we'll also just give color to the tongue. Right, and this is the inside of the mouth, so we'll just apply color inside the mouth. And now we will give colors to the collar. Select the collar color. Right, now we can give color to the spikes. So we can check here. So we just have to just give colors in some more portions here. So I think here is the area. So we just need to pick the live paint bucket. Right, so we have given colors, and one change we can do is we can just delete these lines inside these spikes. Just here we have one unwanted line. Right, so we have now given colors, and we will also give color to the nose. So we'll again draw a selection and select the entire cartoon. We'll activate the live paint bucket, and here we have to give color to the nose. Right, so I think we are done with colors now. Right, so now we have applied colors to the entire cartoon. So we just have to do some small things here. So see, we don't see the eyeballs, so we'll create the eyeballs now. So for eyeballs, we will create a new layer. We will rename it eyeball. Right, and we will just select the ellipse, and we will squish it, and we will give it a pure black color. and then we will just use the center scale, which is Alt and Shift in PC and Option Shift in Mac. We can just keep it here. Just keep it over here. Right, and we just have to create a small shine which is white in color. We can just drag this one, and I will give it a pure white color, and we will just zoom into the image, just to make it very small and place it over here. Right. So we can just use the arrow keys to nudge it, move it like this. Right. Then we also have to give some shine on the nose. So we'll again select one ellipse, we'll squish it, and then we will just make it a little bit small. We can just rotate it, just will keep it here. Right. Right, and here we can see some small black dots, so we'll also create them. So we'll just create these black dots. So we'll just duplicate them. And I think we have to make them a little bit small. Oh, just a minute. Right. Just position them, and we also have dots on the left side. Just will create one more, make it small. That's it. And there is also one small things left here, that is we can just create a small line here. There is one small line, so we can just use the brush tool, and we can just create a small line here. So we can just create it properly. We need to make it a very small. We will just use 0.5. Right. So we have created an exact carbon copy of this spike dog. Just one thing left, that is, see here we can see the teeth. So we'll just finish off with the teeth. There are lines between the teeth, so we will just create those lines here. We can just draw them patiently. Right, so we can just extend them. That's it. So here we have created an exact replica of this spike dog. So we can now delete the reference, and now what we'll do is we will just export this. We will just select the entire spike dog, group it, and now we will export it as a PDF file. So we'll select the PDF and we'll say spiked dog. So we'll save it as a PDF. So this is the spiked dog that we have created in Illustrator. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Please do like, subscribe, share, and if you have anything to say, do comment. See you again.